being here. I'm Anna, and my helper is here today. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
So what we're doing today is that Stampin' Up has announced our retiring products from the annual catalog, and there are a ton of them, hundreds and hundreds of products. What I want to do in this video, I'm going to highlight my top 25 favorite products that I am not sure I can live without, and you may not be able to live without either. But I want to share them with you, and with each one I'm going to share several project ideas. Some of these I probably have 10 or more card ideas. So as we go through here, even if you're not interested in purchasing any more products right now, I have over 100 card examples that may give you some ideas for some future projects you want to make. So as we go through here, a couple of things to keep in mind. Everything on the retiring list is while supplies last. Some of this may have already sold out between the time I recorded this and got it onto YouTube. So keep that in mind. Take a look soon. If there's anything you love, grab it before it's gone. If you want to see any of these projects up closer, just in photos, you can use the link in the video description to go to my website. Use the search box there to search for the name of the product that I was using. Also, if you see quite a bit that you really love here and you're thinking like, okay, there's more here than I can really afford right now, stick around till the end. I'll talk about how you can get a discount on some of these products. So here you can see the catalog that we are retiring. If I open this up, you'll see I've gone through, I've marked all of these retiring products. Now, this is a lot of products, hundreds like I mentioned. So I hope I have gotten all of these correct. Hopefully I'm not showing you anything that's sticking around that is retiring. I've done my best to try to double check these. So we are going to start with my 25th favorite retiring product. We're going to work our way all the way down to number one. My very favorite product that I really recommend if you don't have in your collection, just because it has made my card making, my stamping so much better and so much easier. So let's start with number 5. My little helper is going to hand these to me. Number 25. And number 25 is the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. It has these large greetings here, and I just love the big greetings. I've become a huge fan of using these large greetings on my cards. So I have a couple of samples here. This big one is my absolute favorite. So I have made quite a few different card projects with these stamps. The ones I am showing you are the ones I happen to still have in my collection. Here's one. I actually used some shimmery paint with that large stamp. So just a few ideas of how you can use these. And I love this one right here. If you ever need a belated birthday greeting for a card, right here, it's perfect. So that's number 25, the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. Number 24, I was going to go with one of our sets of retiring masks or stencils, and I decided just to show you both of them. So you may not be able to see these real well right now, but I'm going to show you card samples here in just a second. So this is actually 2 sets of masks mixed together. They're called Basic Patterns, and the other one is called Plenty of Patterns. So let's look at some cards. Here is a set I made with one of the sets of masks, and I also used the Biggest Wish stamp set on these. I just absolutely loved how these turned out, and they were really easy to create. So these are some ideas with one of the sets. Now, here are a few other examples. Now, here are 3, actually all 4 of these I made with embossing paste. So this one I mixed some shavings from pastels in. This one is just plain embossing paste. Here I used embossing paste, put embossing powder over the top. I'm trying to move this so you can see the metallic, the shine. And then this is just plain embossing paste. So several card ideas for these. Now, if you go to my website and search for embossing paste or pastels or these mask sets, chances are you'll be able to find these and get some more information. You have a question, girl?
I remember when you made this one.
You remember when I made that?
Mm-hmm.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 23 is the Everyday Label Punch. Now, as I glanced through my card collection, offhand, I didn't find any that I'd use this on because apparently they've all disappeared. But you see the shape. We love these basic shapes for greetings. And the other thing this one is great for is layering. So if you have a smaller greeting on like a circle or an oval or some kind of tag, layering it over this one because it's a little bit larger looks really nice. So this is my number 23 favorite retiring product. Number 22, and I have a stack full of things to show you here. We have the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set and the coordinating dies. And I am attempting to lay these where there isn't a huge glare, so I apologize for the glare. But these chickens are so much fun. I created this birthday card a while back that was a big favorite. I do have a tutorial for this. I have tutorials for most of these here. But as you open it, we have pop-ups on the inside, and that is just like probably one of the most fun cards I've ever made that I made with this set. So that's one example. Here's another one I really like with the coordinating envelope, with the chicken with the balloon that it's hanging from. This is actually a card from a different chicken set, but I wanted to show you to you just because you can make this exact same card with the chickens in this set.
I want to show this one.
You want to show that one? Can you get it over there so they can see it? Here's one that I'd made for Halloween with a candy corn. Used this one chicken and put a little witch hat on it. Turned out pretty cute. And then while we're looking at these, I'm going to throw in a couple more animal sets because I am really going to miss these animal sets. I had a hard time deciding which one to use. My helper her mind is blown here. Which one are you upset about?
This one.
Back on your feet. You have used this one a ton, haven't you? Mm-hmm. We have loved this set for years, and now it's time to retire. So, and Way to Go is pretty cute too. It's been a big favorite. So those are some of our favorites we are sad to see go. Number 21 is the Love of Leaves stamp set and the coordinating dies. This is just a beautiful leaf set that you can use throughout the year. It has some greetings in it I've used a lot. This Hope Changes Everything one is one of my favorites. Yes?
What is this supposed to be?
What is that? It's just a texture die to create stitching on your card without cutting anything. So it makes a really cool background.
Could you use it for like a winter card and like make it look like icicles?
You could make, that would be really neat. Make it look like icicles?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like cracked ones?
You have some pretty neat ideas. You're gonna have to start doing my videos for me soon. Here are a few card samples made with these. So here are some that are very, very simple. I created these for a beginning card class. Super basic. Here is one that we did in one of my team get-togethers on Zoom that we do regularly. And here, this one's my favorite. This one I had used that foil paper in the background. This was a specialty paper pack we had with some of those metallics in it. But I cut the leaves out of the background. If you can see that, there's a negative space there where I cut it out, and then cut the leaves from the designer paper and put inside those holes. Basically, it turned out really, really pretty. Number 20 is another favorite of my helper here. She was pretty upset when she saw this was retiring. Sweet ice cream. Now, this one I wouldn't have guessed would be one of my favorites, be on this list. But this set can be used for men, it can be used for kids, it can be used all during the warmer months. And these greetings, this is part of the reason I decided to use it. I've used these greetings time and time again, especially this happy birthday and the thank you. So let's look at some sample projects.
This one's my favorite.
We have quite a few.
These things are retiring?
This one's your favorite? Those already retired, honey.
Oh.
So here is a slimline card idea. This is one I shared. There is a tutorial for this on my website and on my YouTube for a big slimline shaker card. So, and I just stacked up, I punched the ice cream cones out of some designer paper, stamped the sprinkles on top, and stacked them up in a big stack. So that one turned out pretty cute. Let's look at some of these. Here is one. This is just so simple. Again, this was one for a beginning card class I had done.
I remember when you made this one, I think.
Do you remember when I made this one right here? You had made some like this too, I remember. Do you remember making some of these? So here's one with the popsicles. Here is one I had done a tutorial with gilded leafing, and I was playing around with this. You can look that up if you search for gilded leafing on my YouTube or on my website. And this one, this was for a card class. I just loved how this one turned out. Used that watercolor shape stamp set in the background and then stamped over it for the popsicles and punched out that ice cream cone to put on top. So that is my 20th favorite retiring product. Next, I have the remnants of a paper pack here. This is my Expressions of Ink paper pack. You can see some of the prints here. This is a beautiful, beautiful paper pack. And I have loads of card samples here that I will share. I had created some of these for a panel cards tutorial here not too long ago. Here are some I had created for another beginning card class that are so easy to put together. I mean, this is just a piece of that beautiful paper and a greeting from that Biggest Wish stamp set. You see these a lot. I use them quite a bit. Here's one I did not too long ago with the beautiful word die set that we have. Here is a beautiful one I received as a swap from one of my team members. I love this. And here is one. This is a drapery fold card that is really neat. You can look up that tutorial. And I'll show this up close. This embossing folder here is going, oh, and this die set. Both of these products are retiring. You will see them soon coming up on my list. So that was number 19. Let's go with number 18. It is the In Symmetry stamp set. And this one is pretty basic. I looked at it for a little while like, oh, do I want this on my list or not? And I had to include it because these, in my opinion, are really unique floral stamps. They're just so different from all of the other flowers, and they're so easy to create beautiful cards with. And the nice greetings, we always love a stamp set with nice greetings. So let's look at a few. I will mention this one does come as a bundle with this punch. It is called, I'm looking for the name, Symmetrical Stems Punch. Sometimes I do not remember the names. So let's look at some of these examples. And like I said, it's just so good for simple cards. I've done one of my really simple stamping tutorials here a while back with the set. A couple of these cards here are ones that I had made. I love this one. I received this as a swap from another demonstrator, and it is just beautiful. The paper here is retiring a lot. Well, I think all of our designer papers are retiring, which is really sad. Look how simple this is, and honestly, this is like one of my favorite cards for whatever reason. I just think it is so pretty, so easy to create. Here's one with that flower that looks maybe a little bit like a tulip. And then here's one you can see with that border punch that I just showed you. So this is, again, that designer paper. I did emboss this with that same embossing folder we will talk about here in a few minutes. Just a really neat set. Yes, ma'am?
What are the ones that you said look like tulips? They look like dinosaur feet.
Oh, the brown one, they look like dinosaur feet. You're right. Where do you get your creativity from? You don't know? Me? It's possible. I'm not really sure. Okay, let's keep moving. So that was number 18. 17 is Tidings and Trimmings Christmas Bundle, which comes with the Tidings and Trimmings stamp set. We also have this coordinating die set if you are interested in it, which you can order just the die set if you're interested. And this one is a beautiful one with that really neat star. Now the die set is called Christmas Trimmings. And let's look at some cards. This one, this star, I just can't get enough of the star. So here are two examples that have that beautiful star with the overlay on top and then the larger star below. Here is one. I use those greenery stamps in the stamp set to create this wreath. I love that. And then here are 2 more. So we have the stocking included. On this card, you can see that star. You might be able to see the star stamped in the background. So this is Tidings and Trimmings and the Christmas Trimmings die set. Next, let's look at Positive Thoughts. Positive Thoughts stamp set and Nature's Thoughts dies. Now, I'm kind of bummed I don't have many samples to show you of these because they have disappeared. You know, sometimes I do actually send cards out. Send quite a few out, so some of these I don't have many to show. Here is a really simple card, as you can see. Again, one of those ones I created for a beginner class. And if you go to my website, look this up, you're going to see another really pretty one. I have made more in the past. I had one here just a couple days ago that I cannot find, and I'm really bummed. If I find it, I'll share it on my social media so you can take a look at it. Number 15, poinsettia petals and the poinsettia dies. So here you can see the products. These have been around for a couple of years now, but these are just kind of a classic, beautiful poinsettia set. What I love about this die set is we have the outline die that cuts them out, and then the inner die that will actually emboss the texture of the leaf or the petal into it. So let's look. I only have 2 samples of this, but if you look this up, look up the poinsettias on my website or my YouTube, you will find tons of examples I created with the set because I pretty much fell in love with it and had so much fun. This one I actually colored with my Blends alcohol markers. This one I think was my absolute favorite, but there were a lot of other gorgeous ones as well. Number 15, is this one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Is it? I thought it might be.
But it's only usually for winter, so if we have retiring like Christmas stuff or winter stuff, it's not really that bad because it's just for Christmas.
Yeah, at least we don't like have to be sad all year that we don't get to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is snowman season. It's been a favorite for several years now. We have the coordinating snowman builder punch that goes with it. But these are just so cute. They're easy to use. And I only have 2 samples here, even though I've used this set a ton. Here is a slimline card that I showed, really easy to stamp. And then this one right here, I punched out and popped up a little bit. And then this one is an easel card. I had actually created, and this pops up on the front to make it 3D. I do have a tutorial for this, and I had created a matching ornament of the 3D snowman that I could not find to share right now, but you can look that up and find it on my site. Next, number 13.
Why is that your 13th favorite?
And I think this, we love this one, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Strawberry and the Strawberry Builder Punch. Just so fun and cute. And if you haven't noticed yet, you will here soon. I just love the punches. I love the punches because they're so easy to use. And so several of our Stamp and Punch sets have made it onto my list. So Sweet Strawberry, here is a cute example. Just love these little things. And that is my number 13. Number 12, Hippo and Friends. So technically, my number 12 is this die set right here, but since it comes as a bundle, or it coordinates, I should say, I wanted to show the stamp set as well so that you can see both. I chose this die set because of the basic shapes in it. I have used these right here a ton. I've used these quite a bit, and this is also a really nice shape I've used on several cards as well. So that's the stamp and the dies. Let's look at a couple of samples. And I don't have many to show you of the dies, but thought I would show you these examples of the hippo cards. And then here is one I received. This as a swap, but that the one die had been used for the opening here on this card. It's a fun little pop-up here with that shape. So that is the hippo set and the Hippo Happiness. Let's see, Hippo Happiness stamps and Hippo and Friends dies.
I can't find that one.
Next, let's look at number 11, Playful Alphabet. which is a die set. So here's the die set first. It's these letters, and I love a couple of things about these letters. One is the size. They're the perfect size to be able to use them on cards or on other projects. Also, I love that the most common letters have multiples in here. So oftentimes you can just crank through your cutting and emboss machine one time and you'll have the letters you need. Sometimes you have to crank a second time or a third time, but because there are extra letters of the most common letters, a lot of times you can only crank through one time and have what you need. Here is one with that goat set. I did a mirror stamping tutorial a while back. Really cool, really extends the use of your stamps if you want to take a look at that and how to use them. So I used that with the goats and then created these letters with our foam adhesive sheets. I have tutorials on like all of these things, so I can probably stop saying that at this point, but I created those with the foam adhesive sheets so they would pop up. It says sorry. And then since they looked mad, I wasn't really sure what greeting to put on it, but I was like, they look mad at each other. I'm going to put sorry on there. And then this one, this is a beautiful die set that we do still have, but I created that also with the foam adhesive sheets. And then for those of you who are Paper Pumpkin subscribers, Paper Pumpkin is a card kit in the mail that we have that comes once a month. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to show very well, but you can use your leftover Paper Pumpkin boxes, turn them inside out, decorate them, and then use them for storage in your craft area. So here I've labeled them to hold different things inside.
I put little organizer things inside of them. I just took thick paper and cut them into strips and put them in there.
Oh, so if you want to divide the box, the inside of the box into little sections for different items?
Yeah, and I printed out fruits to color and I put markers on the other side.
Yeah, they are. They're really handy for different items, and then you can create little dividers inside if you want for different sections. Moving on, number 10, we're getting close. Number 10 is the Daisy Lane stamp set and the Daisy Punch. This is one I've used a lot for years. You can't go wrong with a good flower punch, and this is one I've used a lot. Now we do still have the medium Daisy Punch that coordinates with this one, but we won't have this stamp set anymore to go with it. So you can see here what comes in the set. Let's look at a few samples. Here's one that's beautiful. Here's another one of those, the masks that I talked about. Another example that I created with the masks. The flowers, of course. This is a little flower pot card I had created probably in my first year of stamping. This slides out. Isn't that cute? And then here's one created with a stamp set. And this was one of my absolute favorite cards. There was a big pink flower right here that I need to replace. I think it had fallen off at some point. So really neat examples for the Daisy Lane stamp set and the Daisy Punch. Next, we'll look at Timeless Tulips number 9. This one, oh my gosh, when this came out, I was absolutely in love. Now I don't have the tulip punch here to go with this because the tulip punch is not retiring, but this stamp set is. You can absolutely use the punch without the stamps, but it is even better with the stamps. So let's look at some examples. And I have at least one, this one I received as a swap card. Isn't that pretty? Here's one. Oh, that one doesn't really belong here. You can create this with the tulip punch and make the little octopi. Okay, so here is one. Use the stamps and the punch on that one. Here's one again, the stamps and the punch. I feel like this is one of my favorites ever. How many favorite cards am I allowed to have? Because I have a lot.
A million.
Oh, this one's fun. You say I can have a million favorites. Good, because I do. This is an easel card I created with these beautiful tulips, and this is part of a die set we will get to here soon, I believe. Oh my goodness, another one of my favorites just because it's purple and I love purple. Here's another swap card I received. This one has that embossing folder we will talk about here soon. That is an absolute favorite. And one more I just created here this past weekend, at my team retreat with some of my favorite stamping friends. So that is Timeless Tulips, the stamp set. The punch, I'm sorry, will continue to be available. Next, Prized Peonies. These are so, so pretty. And I haven't used these on as many projects as a few of these other products, but these are gorgeous. And a couple of my favorite cards, I feel like I'm saying that a lot, were created with this set. So let me share them to you. Here's a very simple one. I stamped and then used the die set to cut the peony out. I really love this little ruffle here. If you like that chicken card I created with the barn roof that folded up and it folded open and everything popped up, this is that die I used on that chicken card. And then two more of my absolute favorite cards of all time. Here is an all white peony with that embossed background and some vellum here. One of my favorites, and I am pretty much in love with this one. So with this one, I did a tutorial on this. So I used, I'm not sure what color of cardstock that is, probably Flirty Flamingo. And then I used my blending brushes to blend over the top. You can see exactly how I did that. And then I just paired them together with some really pretty embellishments. So that's the Prize Peony stamp set and the peony dies. Next, thank you, Miss Helper. Blossoms in Bloom is next. And this, one of my cards here that I'll share is one of my almost all-time favorite YouTube tutorials made with this set. Now this set does have, I'll flip it over. This is the smaller piece that layers on top of the larger piece. So let's look at some examples. And I have quite a few. I have used this one quite a bit. This one was a paper piecing tutorial where I pieced the lighter pink paper inside of the white. Really fun. Here is one. Oh, I've done lots of techniques with this one. These big stamps like this, you can do so many neat things with. This one I showed how to stamp with multiple colors and how to emboss it all at the same time. I embossed it over the top with clear embossing powder. So that's a really cool tutorial I have shared. Here's one. I had stamped it with some of that shimmer paint. Here's a very simple one, just one layer right there on the card base. Here is one more techniques. I used our chalk pastels to create this, so there's no lines around the image itself. Just use those chalk pastels, and that's a really neat way to use them as well. Here is one. Thanks so much, Karen. We just created this one at my team retreat over the weekend. This was one of our make and takes that somebody else had brought. Beautiful example. And then here are two very similar ones. This is that one that is, I think it's like my #3 all-time viewed YouTube video still. This beautiful example in my favorite color, purple. This one did not get embossed. And then this one on the left did get embossed with that favorite embossing folder that's coming up that is retiring. Next, #6, the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. And this one, I only have one example to show right now, but how this works is you take a 2-inch strip of paper and you can punch this little keyhole cutout at the top. The reason I love this punch, and I'm going to miss it so much because, I mean, I'll keep it because, you know, I'm going to keep using it, of course. Just not in my projects that I share with you because it won't be available anymore, and I hate to show things that you are not able to get anywhere. So I love to use it for little treat holders like this. You can punch each end, fold it up, put a fun little treat inside. It is like one of the easiest treat holders ever. So that is the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. #5, oh my gosh, this, I would almost put money on the fact that this is my most used Christmas set of all time. And the whole time I've been stamping, and the whole time I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Perfectly Plaid, the stamp set, and the Pine Tree Punch that coordinates. The reason I think this is my all-time favorite, all-time most used set is because it is so easy to use. If you look up Perfect Leaf Plaid on my website or this pine tree punch, chances are you're going to find quite a few examples because I've used it a lot. Now, I only have one to share here that I was able to find. It is similar to that snowman card I showed a little bit ago. Little easel card with the pop-up pine trees on the front. One of my favorites. Okay, number 4, we are finally getting to that embossing folder that I've been telling you so much about. And it is called Tasteful Textile. Hopefully you can get an idea here of the texture of this. And if you can't yet, chances are you will once I start showing you some of these cards. Several of these were actually swap cards. So let me show you a few first that were not swap cards. Here is one. I really like to use this one and then to blend over it with a little bit of crumb cake ink, and it makes it look aged. It makes it look like aged cloth, and I just love that look. So there's a beautiful Christmas card I made with it. Here is a similar one I created with a floral stamp set. Here's one. This is coming in a tutorial soon with our daffodil bundle. And here I use that fancy tag topper punch. Here's another use for it, is to create a bookmark like this. Made this little pocket on the front and the bookmark slides right in there. I'm so sad that this is going away, and this Tasteful Textile embossing folder. So if you want to make sure you see this, if you want to see lots of inspiration coming up, projects like the ones I've been sharing, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. One more here, I had done a double embossing tutorial where you heat emboss over texture embossing, over the embossing, that texture the embossing folder created. So that's a really cool tutorial I had shared. And then here are 2 cards. 2 cards I received just this past weekend at my team retreat as swaps using this embossing folder. So not only is this a favorite of mine, it is clearly a favorite of my team members because I've received several of these swap cards from them. Now I feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to share this die set here. I think it's the next one actually, but I keep sharing things. This die set has been used a ton as well. Number 3, the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Here they are. We have basic shapes. They have stitching on the inside. We have the ruffled rectangles, we'll call them, with stitching on the inside, and then these shapes. If you go back through this, I've used these shapes on quite a few of these cards that I have shared with you. Now let's look at some samples. And this, again, is a favorite of my own, but also other people that I've done card swaps with, because 3 of the cards I'm showing here I've received in swaps. So here is one. I use that large rectangle. Here was a really fun fold I made for Christmas with the frumpy grumpy cat on the front. Too much fun, right? So I used it here on the front. And then let's look. I have 3 swap cards. Here is one. Nikki made this past weekend for our make and takes. This is one I believe I had received when I got to go to Maui with Stampin' Up. That has that die in the background. And then I think this was another swap I had received in Maui. Just a beautiful example using those layering rectangles. Okay, friends, we're down to number 2. Number 2, we haven't done many paper packs. Number 2 is, I would say, my most used paper pack of this current catalog that is retiring. So I'll bring this in here. This is the Pattern Party paper pack. You can see all of my scraps and things. I have an absolute ton of scraps because I've used this paper pack a ton of times. One side is these fun bright colors. The opposite side is all black and white. So if I flip these colored ones over, you can see the black and white prints on the back side. So you get the option of the fun black and whites. And I use both quite a bit. So let's look at a few of these. I have quite a few examples here. Plus, I'm already thinking of some. I should have grabbed some of the black and whites because these all have those bright colors on them, I think. Yes. So here are lots of examples of these. This gumball machine has been kind of a favorite. You can look up this tutorial to create with the gum. The gum inside is a shaker. This was a triangle fun fold that has been a big favorite. This stamp set, in case you were wondering, this one is retiring. I'm trying to remember the name of it at the moment, but it has some pretty cute little greetings. It's kind of funny. The older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana. Feel better soon. And then on the inside we have, on the brighter side, you don't need a cone. Kelsey, do you remember the name of the stamp set?
What stamp set? Bunches of Fun.
Bunches of Fun. That's why she's my little helper. I'm going to have to start paying her sometime. She's pretty helpful. So that is the Pattern Party paper pack. I will mention that that is actually a Hostess exclusive set. Now you don't have to host a party to get it, but on any order over $150, either placed just by yourself or placed with a group, and I can help you with that if you're interested. Any order over $150, you can use your Hostess credit towards that pack, and it is a really great price. You get a ton of paper in it. Last but not least, my stamping friends, number one is this bundle or collection. We'll call it the collection. We have the Messages die, the Many Messages stamp set, and the Many Happenings stamp set as well. If you follow along with the things I share, you have heard me talk about this probably 300 times. So how this works is each one of these is just one big stamp set, okay? I put this in my Stamparatus. I stamp one time. We get all of these put together at the exact spacing they are on the stamp. Then I take my one big die, lay it over the top, somewhere right about like this is how it would go. If that was at full size, it's upside down. Lay it over the top, run that through the machine. It cuts 19 tags at one time. This Many Happenings stamp set is exactly the same. It just has different greetings. So you can get the Messages die with one of these. You can get the Messages die with both of these. But this has truly saved me a huge amount of time in my stamping. I want to share with you how I have organized my tags. And like I said, if you follow along with what I share, you've seen this. If you don't, then I hope you'll subscribe. But here is this tackle box I have organized into sections, and I have my tags, most of which came from this Messages set. Have them organized by thank you, by occasion. So thank you, congratulations, birthday, thinking of you, etc. So let me share with you some cards. When I started grabbing cards to share that I'd used these tags on, I couldn't stop finding cards that I had used these tags on. So they just kept coming and coming. Here was some quilt card. This was a quilt card tutorial I did. Here I have a couple more of those quilt cards that I use these tags on. Here I done one on how to use strips of paper. Here's some really cute designs to use with that I'd use these tags on. Here is one, this tutorial was on using embossing folders and then blending over the top. I'd use that cute little tag. This one was lots of fun with the Starburst pattern. Here were two I'd use these tags on. So what I like to do, you see this one is black and white. I like to stamp them in different colors, even do some with embossing, like this I embossed with the white over the black paper. Here I embossed this one with gold embossing powder. So mix up, get lots of different colors of tags into that box and store them so that anytime I need a project, need a little tag for my project, I have lots of color options in there. So these are going to keep coming and coming, blending. This tutorial is coming soon. This is another mask set that is not retiring at the moment, but I had created all of these blended projects. This right here, this butterfly, I don't know if you can tell that butterfly is actually blended using a mask set. It's still available, but I put the little mini messages tag over the top. And okay, I do have a few more. I don't want to bore you, but here's my favorite. What was this card?
My birthday card.
Your birthday card. So I used this is the little mini messages tag, and this is a twist and pop card that I have a tutorial for. So very cool. There are a couple more here. And these were for a borders die set tutorial I had shared, and I think I had used all these tags as well. Love this one with that little point at the bottom and then that tag. I think that's really neat. And a couple more. So that is number one. The messages die along with the mini messages or mini happenings stamp sets. So what do you think? Those are a lot of amazing projects and some really, really neat card project ideas, aren't they? So I said at the beginning that if you saw a lot that you're interested in, you wanted to know more about how to get a discount on what you would like to order, that I would explain that here. So if you are interested in a discount, what you can do is order the starter kit with Stampin' Up. Now, if you order the starter kit, what that means is you are officially going to become a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but don't let that scare you. All that means is you get a discount on your products. So when you order the Stampin' Up starter kit, you get to choose $125 worth of products for $99. You get free shipping. You get a past paper pumpkin kit included in your starter kit. You get, I feel like some more things, but my brain is short at the moment. So, so you get to choose $125 in products for $99 is basically the main offer with free shipping. So you can choose several of these products. You can save $26 right there, plus you get free shipping from that point. If there's more that you want to order, as soon as you sign up and you get signed into the Stampin' Up website, you can order anything you want, 20% off. So there are no obligations with that. No, you don't have to do classes. No one holds you accountable for anything in particular. And if you want to keep ordering with a discount, you can. And if you don't, no one comes and takes anything away from you. That is totally fine. So if you're interested in that, please look me up on my website, send me an email or a text message because I don't always see my messages here on YouTube very quickly. But you can find links below for this as well. So thanks so much. I hope you liked all these card ideas and these retiring products. You're really distracted, aren't you? She's like, man, I'm so bored. I want to go to sleep.
Mm.
What do you say? Do you have anything to say?
Mm.
Bye, everybody. Wait.
Bye.
Bye.